Hey, welcome back. So in the previous video, we updated the site settings and now we want to install and customize a template. So click on dashboard and now we can click install template. So if you have a solo plan, you'll not be able to install any of the agency templates. So for the purpose of this demo, we'll install a basic template. I'm going to click on mountain. And then I'll click import complete site. Very important step here. As you see, the first option is unchecked, which says delete previously imported site. This is in the event that you installed another template and you want to remove all the content from that template and install a new template. Since there are no templates currently installed, I'm leaving it unchecked and I'm clicking import. And this will install all the necessary plugins and layouts to reflect the demo content of the template. Alright, the import complete. We can click on view site. And now we're ready to start customizing this website. But first I want to explain a few things about web design. The top of the website where you're seeing the menu and the logo is considered the header. The content between the top and the bottom is considered the body. And at the very bottom, that's considered the footer. Head, body, foot. So if we scroll up to the top, we would see that part of the body, because we have a background image there, and that is part of the body that is actually lapped into the header. While we're going through the customizations, I will show you how to separate your header from your body. Well, by default, it's supposed to be separated. So this is a design change. And I will show you those design changes as we go along. So let's edit this web page. To do that, click Edit with Elementor. Now, Elementor is the page building plugin that we use with WordPress to customize your pages and posts. We've added a ton of features, add-ons, and widgets to help enhance your building capability to design the content that you want on your page. So this area is called a section, and within that section we have a column. We have one column, and that basically houses the text and these two buttons. If we scroll down, this is also a section, and within this section there are 3 images. This section has 2 columns. This section has 1 column. This section also has 2 columns. No, 3 columns, my bad. And to give you a better understanding, let's say I want to create a new section. I click on this red icon and then I choose my column layout, my structure. So I can have 4 columns. And then I can build content within those 4 columns. If at any given point I want to see my elements, I simply click this icon here at the top right. And I can drag a heading directly into my column and start adding text. I can either edit the text here or within the text box within the widget editor. So website settings. However, we'll come back to that. So we'll delete this entire section by hovering and clicking this X. Let's scroll to the top. So what we want to do is, as I said, you could click and edit your text, but I want to edit the buttons. So as we can see, this button has a nice design. It's transparent, but when we hover, it gets a blue color. So let's go into that. We hover over it and click it. And then on the left-hand side, I can edit the content for my button. So the text, I could change that to get now. And once again, you could change it within the live editor here as well. If I want to add a link, let's say I already created another page and I want to link to that page, the about page, I just have to type about and that would link the about page within the button. If I want the page to open in a new tab, I click settings and click open in a new window. Important. Let's say you're pasting a social link or an external link from another website. It's not an issue, but you always want to start the link with HTTP or HTTPS, this little key right here. If you don't do this, you'll have an error when the link is trying to load. So make sure this is always first when you're creating links. Now we'll go to styling the button. So I click on style. And this little icon here, it's a smiley face. It's for an add-on that we included with Elementor called Happy Add-ons. You could bypass this unless if you're editing a Happy Add-on element. So what we can do is go to the topography, and here we could change the font. We could change the size of the button, and we could change the weight. This is basically the boldness, and this is more for the text involved with inside the button. Right, we could transform if we want everything uppercase, everything lowercase, capitalized. That means the first letter of every word will be capitalized. Just gonna set it back to default. Oh, and decoration. That's basically if you want to add a underline, overline, or a line through. Set that to default. The line height. And the letter spacing, which is here. All right, so we're taking everything back to default, and you can play with these settings to make it work for you. You can customize however you want, or however you see fit. You have other settings there, box shadow to add a little contrast in the back of the button. So yeah, the last thing we want to do is go to advanced. The advanced settings is adding margins and paddings. Now, margin affects everything outside of the content, and padding affects everything inside of the content. This is done by adding pixels. So first thing you'd want to do is unlink the values, because let's say for padding I add 10 here, it would add 10 pixels within the inside of the content to the top, right, bottom, left. I don't want that. I just want to add 10 to the top. Same goes for margin. Unlink, and I add 10 to the top. That will move the button 10 pixels down. All right. So one thing we have to pay attention to is the background image and how we edit that background image, because this section here is a column, and I can add a background image to this particular column. If I click on edit column, click style, I click background type as classic, I can either choose a color, and this will change the color of my column. I could adjust the transparency as well. If I want to add an image, click on choose image, and we offer free images with Pixabay. So if you need stock images, you can simply search here, or you could upload your own images as well. And this is the media library with all the images that are included, whether it's pre-uploaded or it came with the theme. So we're just going to choose an image from Pixabay. Butterfly look nice. Click on it and click save and insert. And now we have that butterfly in the back there. We can edit the layout of the background, such as the position. You could have it as center, center left, top center, bottom center. So we leave it as bottom center for now. And attachment, if you want it to scroll or fixed, we'll edit the attachment when we're dealing with the background of the entire section. So I think you get the gist of it. I will delete this, bring it back to the default, and now I want to edit the background image of this section. And to do that, I hover over the section. Once these icons appear, you know you're dealing with the section. Once this icon appears, you're dealing with the column. And when the pencil icon appears, you're dealing with the widget or the element. So I'm editing this section and I'm going to style. We have the background image here. And I want to add, I like this nature picture. So I'm going to insert this media here. And now I have this nice image at the back. So the current position is top center and the attachment is fixed. Fixed means when I scroll, this image will stay fixed in place. As you can see, the content is moving, but the image isn't. And if I change that from fixed to scroll, then everything would move. We have repeat. Now these are all CSS classes. Elementor just makes it easier for you to edit CSS without knowing CSS. Repeat. So we have the default and we have no repeat, and no repeat basically means if this image was smaller, let me see if I can make it smaller. So I'll do the sizes first. It's currently cover. Cover means to cover the entire area of the section. Contain means to show the entire image within the section. But as you can see, it's breaking the content at the side here. And we have custom, where we could adjust the size. So let's take the size down a bit. And what you're seeing now is this element, which is 27 pixels in width, is currently repeating itself because the default is to repeat, and it's currently repeating itself over and over to fill the entire section. So if we change that to no repeat, see, we'll just have the image by itself here. Change it to repeat Y, it would repeat on the Y axis. Change it to repeat, the X axis, change it to repeat Y, it would repeat on the Y axis. And full repeat would repeat in the entire section. So we'll go back to default, change the size back to cover, and attachment fixed. And that's how you edit content in Elementor. If you want to add new content, you scroll to the bottom and you click the plus icon, select your layout. Let's say it's one layout. And a neat trick, if you add one layout and you want another, you can simply right click on edit column and click duplicate. And that will create another column. You can duplicate again, create 3 columns. You can adjust the sizes of your columns by going at the breakpoint between 2 columns and dragging exactly different sizes. It shows you the percentage as well. Alright, so that's our custom layout. And if I want to add an image, I drag an image here, choose my image, insert media, and let's say I want to add, so these are basic elements. With SocialPay you also get pro elements. If you scroll more, there's some general, there are happy add-ons, and I believe we also have header footer blocks, ultimate add-ons. So these are, as I said, additional plugins that we include with SocialPay. So we could have a dual color heading. So the dual color heading is, if you go to style, you should have the option to edit both headings. Let's click on heading style. We have normal, so we change the text color to red. So the entire, both headings, which is I love and this website, as we see in content, before text, highlighted text, I love, and this website. Go back to style, and click on highlight, the highlight color, click blue, and there we have a dual color heading. Alternatively, you could add an entire section. If you click the folder icon and you click on blocks, we have a library of blocks for you to use. So we have this pro block here. Just click, so you could view it by clicking the search plus icon. Make sure it's what you want and then click insert. And this will insert directly into the page, and you can start editing this content as well. If you want, let's say you're building a page from scratch, you can come to pages. Actually, we'll do this in another video. What I want to show you in this video is how to edit the heading. And to do that, let's click update. So we've updated our changes to this website. So to view this page, click the left icon here and click view page. All right, so now I want to separate my heading from my body. So this is more or less a transparent header, and Astra makes it easy. To change this, you want to click edit page and then scroll to the side where you see Astra settings. So this page doesn't have a sidebar, the content is stretched. We're disabling the title is home. So I would make that visible so you'd see the difference. Here we have transparent header enabled. We have three options: customer setting, enabled, and disabled. I'll set it to customer setting for this example and click update. So when we preview the page, page updated, view page, now we would have the menu showing and the page title, which is home. Now I clicked on customer setting because I wanted to show you a really cool trick that you could do with Astra. If I had clicked disable, it would have shown as well. But let's go to customize. So within the customize section, we can change global layouts. So if I click on header and transparent header, these are the customizer settings for the header. And currently we have transparent header enabled on desktop plus mobile. We could change that to just desktop alone. We could change that to mobile alone. So let's say I change it to desktop. So it's not working because we have the title enabled, the home title. So I'll just jump back into the page and disable the title and click update. Then I'll reload the, okay, I think I could stay on the page. If I click enable on complete website, right, then in the section here, we have disable on pages unchecked. So this is the global setting. It would be disabled on pages, meaning that the transparent header would show on all pages. It would be disabled on the blog page, disabled on 404 pages, and disabled on posts. Posts are basically blog posts. You could change that here as well if you wanted to show. Or you could you would do it on a page by page basis where you could go into the Astra settings on each page and change the settings from customizer setting to enable. So yeah, we could publish this, but before we do that, let's go back to the beginning of this customizer and walk through each setting that's laid out here. So under global, we have topography, base topography, and this is more or less the same thing like Elementor. I would advise you to change these settings more in Elementor than in this customizer. So let's change a font. So let's change one of the fonts. Let's click on Able, and you would see that home, about, services, and contact has changed take action has remained the same, multipurpose template has remained the same, create your website has remained the same, but the demo text has changed. The buttons remain the same. This content has changed. This content has changed. This content has changed. So you can kind of see the pattern, and these menu items has changed. The reason why these bigger text won't change is because they have custom stylings attached to them. If I change the font again to something different, you will see that it's only this content is changing, and that's because these contents are plain. They don't have any tags or any HTML markups. We can leave it. We leave it as that for now, and click on publish. Could go back to headings, and headings contain tags. So we can see headings H1 to H6. These are different tag elements. So if I change the font for the headings, now you will see the bigger content being edited. So let's change the font. Now you can see we have different font here. If we scroll through the page, different font here, different font here, different font here, as such. So we can leave that as is. We can play with these settings to change everything that we want. If we want to change specific headings, heading 1, heading 2, and headings are more or less the size of the text. I think heading 1, if I change that to Helvetica, this is a H1. Let me see, H2. This is H2. This also is H2. The text on these buttons, so we go down to H3. Change that to actor. That didn't change, then it's probably not an H3 content. We'll check H4. It seems there isn't any text transform. No, it seems there isn't any settings for the different for H4 to H6. It just inherits whatever content is from above. So as I said, it's better to edit that within Elementor than the customizer. Different base colors. So you have different base colors on the website, such as the button here. Container. I would advise to change this within Elementor again. Buttons, Elementor as well. So the header section, site identity. This is where you could change your logo. So you change it to anything and upload a retina logo as well. If you want a different logo for your mobile devices, just click that option. You can throw that logo there. The site icon is the small icon you see next to the tab at the top. So you could upload us. It's usually called a favicon. You could upload that here as well. The sizing for that is usually 512 by 512, but WordPress allows you to crop it to match. Primary menu. So we'll go into menus in a different video. If we have time, we could try to complete it here. And we went through transparent header as well. Breadcrumb. Breadcrumbs are more for e-commerce, where if it is you have categories set up and child categories as well. So we'll cover breadcrumbs in our e-commerce videos. Blog archive. You could set the archive page, what you want to show on the archive pages of the blog. Once again, blogging is for another video. The sidebar. Usually when it comes to the sidebar, when it says default layout, make sure that's always set to no sidebar. It helps a lot within the website, especially for Astra. So make sure the default layout is set to no sidebar. Blog post, you could leave default. Pages, change pages to no sidebar as well. The sidebar is where you could add widgets. We'll go through widgets in a bit. Footer widgets. So if you scroll to the bottom, we currently have 4 widgets. This is a widget. This blank content is also a widget. This is a widget. And this is a widget. We'll go through widgets right after this. Footer bar, that's the text at the bottom here. So it's copyright. It's showing the current year, the site title, and the credits, which is powered by SocialPay. You can delete all this and add anything that you want. Seems it didn't update. Alright, so if we can't edit the footer here, that means that somewhere else is controlling the footer. And usually with Elementor, you can create custom layouts. So I'm sure there's a custom layout for the footer within Elementor. So let's go back. Menus, you could change your menu. Widgets. Homepage settings, additional CSS. Alright, so let's publish this and go find the footer. So once that's published, exit out, take us back to the front, and let's just see if I hover site footer. So the footer for the site is a template. You can click here and edit it, but let's go to the back end to make it a little more familiar. So once I'm in the back end, I can hover over templates and click on saved templates. And I would have the templates for my website. Click on all just to make sure you have all. And we have the footer here. So I'm going to click edit with Elementor. This is not the footer that we are looking for. So that means there's more than one footer within the content. Very easy. Once we click on all, we could click on footer. And it's not showing there either. Where is this footer that I am looking for? What is the name of it? So go back to the front of the website. It's called site footer. It's a post. Okay, so if it's not in the saved templates and it's a footer that's a post, it means that it could either be located within the post section. So we'll check here. Nope, it's not here. So that means it could be located in the header footer builder. Let me check plugins to see if Elementor header footer and blocks is enabled for this theme. So to access that footer, I'll hover over appearance, click on header footer builder. And here we have the site footer. You can click edit with Elementor. So those are the main locations where content might be, if it is you're looking for something and you can't find it, or if you're on a page, as we had it before, you could edit from the front end. So now we could change this text. We could change this menu. So this is not really a menu. This is a iconless layout, and you could change the text here, and you could add a link. As you can see, we have an empty space here. If I wanted to add a menu there, I could search for a menu widget, navigation menu, and I would have my menu there. It's supposed to have an option to change the layout, vertical, like that. If I want to edit these icons to include my social, add the link here. I could even change the icon. There are tons of icons. If I want to add my Instagram, I could change my Facebook to Insta. Click insert. Oops. Insta insert. And I'll have the Instagram logo. And I could put my Instagram handle here. Lastly, I want to show you how to build a menu, meaning adding links to the menu. I will exit to the dashboard. I don't want to save this. Let's leave the page. And I'll click on, hover over appearance and click on menus. And the default menu we have is navigation. You can create new menus as well. We have home, about, services, contact. If it is we had more pages, we could add more pages to this menu. We could add custom links such as external links. So Facebook, add to menu. And if I want this to open in a new tab, scroll to the top, click on screen options, click on link target, and then I would have the option to open in a new tab. Basically, that's how you add menus. You can always drag and drop these within the layout. And to create a submenu, simply click an element and shift it to the right. So Facebook would appear under home, and let's see how that looks. Let's save this menu and visit the front of the site. And now under home, we have Facebook. Now you'll have to go through changing the colors and the backend and all that stuff. But I know for a fact Facebook is here. You could go in and change the text color, sorry. All right, so that's it for this video.